Hey, so let me know which one of these shoes right here you think are golf shoes. There are two golf shoes in this picture right here. Let me know which ones y'all think are the golf shoes. I'm not gonna give y'all no hints. I don't like y'all that much. I'm lying. I like y'all. It's these two right here. It's these two. It's these two. Could you tell? Well, let's get it popping. What's good, family? It's your boy Sykes, and you are looking live at another episode of Special Delivery. Thank you so much for rocking with us today, man. We really appreciate you, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you smash that notification bell, because if you haven't already, then what are you doing? Like, get with the program, y'all. But anyway, today, we're talking about golf shoes, y'all. We're talking about golf shoes. Look, wait.
What?
Wait a second. Do not leave yet. Don't leave, because we're not just talking about any golf shoes. We're not talking about those golf shoes, right? We're talking about these golf shoes right here, the Jordan 1 lows, but not necessarily like what these golf shoes are and what they look like, but more of what they represent. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Growing up, I never really felt like the game of golf was for me. I didn't really see people out there on the course, on the TV that looked like me outside of Tiger Woods. And even with Tiger Woods, like the game didn't really embrace him all that well early on, and we didn't really see that change until later in his career. So to see that as a young black man, I was like, I don't know if this is for me. But now that's all starting to change a little bit. Golf is starting to embrace my culture, starting to embrace black culture a little bit more. And I feel like these shoes right here represent that a little bit. And we're gonna talk about that today with some special guests. But before we dive into all that, let's take a look at these joints real quick. See what the differences are. Okay, y'all, so for educational purposes right here, these joints right here, these two, this is the Jordan 1 Golf Low, and this is that box that it comes in, right? These two right here, these are your regular Jordan 1 lows, and this is their box. And I have no idea why this box is so big, but that's what it is. But from the upper down, you can't really tell the difference that much between these joints, especially not from far away. So like, you take this joint right here, for example, and this joint right here, like, the leather is pretty much the same. The quality of the leather is pretty much the same. The only difference, the tangible difference here, is that you see this joint has some golf spikes in it. This joint doesn't. This is just a casual Jordan 1 low outsole right here. And then even on these joints right here, like, so this is a Jordan 1 low. These joints have suede on them, right? This joint has suede. It's like a shattered backboard low. This joint has suede, although there is a little bit of cracked leather right here on the tongue of these coral joints right here. But like you get the point that I'm saying. Like there's just not really that much of a difference between these shoes right here. Anybody could mistake these joints right here for a regular Jordan 1 low, which I think honestly is really cool because you get to go out there on the green and look pretty fly while doing it. That's something that me personally, I can definitely connect with, and definitely something that I would want to do if I was out there golfing. But this is also why I think that this is sort of representative of a culture change, because this is not something that we would have seen in the game of golf, even just 5 or 10 years ago, I would say. And I think Jordan Brand and the shoes that it's making is a big part of that change, actually. But to talk about that change a little bit, we actually hit up Vibez Golf, run by NFL running backs Melvin Gordon, Dare Ogunbowale, and their homie Noe Vital. And they're an amateur golf club that are doing their own thing in the way of changing golf's culture and allowing folks like me, the people that look like me, black and brown people out there, to sort of embrace the game in their own way. And so we talked about all of that and more. What you're about to watch is that conversation, so enjoy. Thank y'all so much for hopping in with us today, man. We really appreciate you guys. We wanted to do a golf episode. We've been wanting to do a golf episode for a while because I've had like these thoughts about golf. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. As I was growing up, didn't really feel like golf was necessarily a sport for me. I didn't see people that looked like me as a young black man playing the game. I didn't see people dressing like me. And now I feel like that's starting to change a little bit. And I wanted to get y'all thoughts on that, and you guys' perception as tastemakers in this area, as creatives in this area.
I can start off, of course, man. I mean, just by the inception of, Vibez Golf Club, you're starting to see this momentum take place where golf is finally changing in a positive way, right? And what I mean by positive way, it's like it now feels more inclusive. And the thing that excites us about, the world of golf right now is that there's not only this need for the game to expand, but now you feel like there's this want.
Yeah, and I'm curious where you all think the sort of evolution comes from. Like, where is that rooted? Is it in the people who are gravitating toward the game now? Is it in the clothing? Because like that's one of the things that I've seen a lot of times. You all specifically over at Vibez, like you tap into that in a really major way. So I'm curious where you guys think that sort of want from the game of golf is coming from toward people who are of color, toward young Black and brown men and women out there.
I feel like people are starting to realize, because once they try, I mean, there's stuff like Top Golf, Mini Golf. Once they try it, they kind of realize like, why haven't I been doing this? Like there's really no reason. Like I like to have fun with my homies. You can do that on the golf course. So people are starting to realize like, I mean, I've never gotten exposed to this when I was younger, but I mean, I've tried it a couple times and I had a great time. So now people are trying to get more into it or get better at it. And that's kind of how we've been, like that's how I got into it. I'm super competitive. So it's like, I mean, I wanted to get better at it. So why not get better at it? You got to golf more to get better. So that I feel like just people are just starting to realize there's no reason for them not to be golfing.
So you mentioned that there were I guess misconceptions for you coming into the game and just kind of learning it and growing into it. And I'm wondering like what were some of those misconceptions for you? Like are there things that you think that like people think about the game of golf that they're getting wrong? Is there anything that like you can point to that's like a common misconception about the game?
Oh, 100%. If any three of us, like, just to what we were touching on right now about like our exposure to the game growing up, if you take that lens that each of us had at those stages in our lives of what golf was, we would say it's a rich man sport. It's not for us, right? It's if you have to, you got to wear a polo, you got to like those are all these things that we felt, and that was to the extent of our knowledge of golf because we just thought about the barriers that prevented us from playing. Right, we never thought about any of the positive. We were never like, we're gonna go out there and have a blast with our homies. The thought was always like, man, if I want to go golf, I got to pay all this money. I need to, go get. And it's just like that was the lens that we viewed golf as.
And kind of to like piggyback off like what Noah was saying, like he said, like 5 years ago through our lenses, this is how we seen the game as like a rich man sport. But like last year alone, like we was after practice, we was like in the hot tub before. And it was like 4 or 5 guys in there, and I think golf was on the TV, and the conversation just happened, and then everybody was just like, man, like we just asked, like, do you play golf? And they was like, nah, we don't play golf. It was like it's almost like it's a status sport. Like you look at it as if you have to be like either like a Patrick Mahomes or you have to be like a Tom Brady, just in a sense, or you just have to be super rich or have this type of money to play like. Everyone thinks it's a status sport, and you know what I'm saying. It's not like that. It don't have to be like that, and you know what I'm saying. We trying to change the views on that.
And that's actually what I was about to ask about. So like it seems like from the work that you all are doing at Vibez, like you all are going into communities, touching the kids, having them pick up these golf clubs, play on the courses. Like what has that experience been like for you all working to sort of grow the game in this way and then like do this for a game that you didn't necessarily grow up loving? Like where does that come from for you all?
For me, I just kind of like just reflected back and I was just like, man, you know what I'm saying? I wish I would have known about golf. Like I'm just like, bro, yo, you put your body through so much in football, like it's just ridiculous. Like, you know what I'm saying? And not to say that you don't, I mean, I'm pretty sure golf, professional golfers have their pains and aches, but I can bet you it's not on a degree of football. Like not even close. And I'm just like, man, like I just wish I would have known about all these different options. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where I'm coming from, where they come from, golf ain't no option. I never even looked at a golf club when I was a kid. Like, didn't even think about it. The way to make it out was either football or basketball. That's or you know what I'm saying? Academically, you got to be on your game. Like, that's just what it was, man. So to me, I was just sitting back and I'm just like, man, I'm kind of glad that we doing this, man, because it's giving kids like another option to go do something and then not go through this, bro. It's painful, bro. It's painful, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm just like, bro, that's kind of just like that be my motivation. Cause I'm like, man, I just don't want kids to have to kind of go through the pain every day that I go through. You know what I'm saying? And just have another option that I didn't have growing up, for real.
Just to kind of add a little bit to that, like from my point of view, it's like it's that giving back piece, right? But it's that message we're delivering to parents, right? So I was just at a first tee event back home in Madison, right? I was out there to speak on a panel, and like just hearing the story of what some of these kids are going through, like I felt that, right? I grew up in a low income home, and it was crazy because as Melvin was mentioning, in those low income communities, the mindset is, what can we do to get out of this situation? And a parent is not going to invest in something where they look at the end game and say, hey, there's really nothing there for you, right? And so for me, giving parents that vantage point where it's like, hey, actually golf does give your kid that opportunity, and especially being from underrepresented community, they have an even better shot at it because there's great resources like First Tee, like what the PGA is doing, like other organizations are doing, where can really take your child and give them a path where they can go. They don't have to play football, they don't have to play basketball, they don't have to do anything. They can actually leverage golf as their way out.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you mentioned that, like, there are these different resources from the golf world directly that people can tap into to sort of drive their kids to the game. And for a long time, I think like there's been a sort of disconnect there where you got the parents who are thinking, I can't get my kid here because I don't make X amount of money. But then I also feel like there was a culture in golf or like attitude that had people saying, okay, like these people don't want to actually participate.
No, I don't think it's a misconception at all. Because I mean, you got to think golf. They've been marketing to the same people. It's another thing of it. Like golf, they haven't tried, to make it accessible, or make it even seem accessible. Like, because I mean, to me, I mean, it's kids in the hood. They ain't got a bowling ball, but they great bowlers, or they ain't got skates, but they're great skaters. Like golf could be just as accessible as those. Like I didn't even know you could rent clubs when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like you had to have some clubs to go golfing. Like I had a basketball, I had a football, so I had cleats, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't have the equipment, so I didn't think it was possible. But it wasn't marketed to me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that was a thing. So I wouldn't say like they're purposely trying to keep a certain type of people out. Like I wouldn't say that on them, but I mean, you got to call a spade a spade. I mean, they're not marketing. They never were marketing to people and even generating that demand for people like us to want to golf. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what our goal is in all of this, is to generate that demand to show like we having a great time doing it. And I mean, we don't have to, you know what I'm saying, change anything about what golf is offering. We just kind of showing us having a good time of golfing, and people are going to see like, oh, maybe I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's nothing stopping me from golfing.
I've taken up a bunch of y'all time. I'll get y'all out of here on this. What is, for each of you, in your opinion, what makes the perfect golf fit?
Yeah. I'll start, I guess. Perfect golf fit. So I guess it depends on the season too. You know what I'm saying? Like bucket hats were a big thing this summer, so I feel like the hat definitely is a big piece of it. I mean, and then the shoes were a big thing. So me, I got a problem because instead of going to fix my golf swing, I just feel like going to get another pair of shoes is gonna help. And so every time we got a new tournament, I pull up in some new golf shoes. So that's my problem. But so I feel like the hat and the shoes, and then in between, I mean, depending on the weather, you can go shorts, you go pants. But yeah, I feel like I always start with the hat and shoes.
Melvin, how about you?
you see this hat? I'm starting to vibe with this hat, so I might get a VGC put across this joker right here. Go out there and swag. 'Cause this starting to become my swag. This is a little saucy, so I'm gonna go try to hit the. I really don't wear hats out there. I like the Oakleys. I like wearing the Oakleys. I like wearing any type of shades. Whether it's designer Oakleys, I don't like the light hit my eyes, and I feel like I put immaculate with the shades. I suck at putting without the shades. So I need the shades, some type of shades, some fashion. I don't care where I'm at. I need to go buy some shades. Sometimes I wear a sleeve. I like high socks, like I'm playing football. Something to make me comfortable. You know what I'm saying? One time I wore some Jordans and then I wore a basketball sleeve. I be out here tripping. On the real, I be thinking I'm swagging. I probably do, but in my head I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy.
Hey, I appreciate the confidence with that one.
I mean, it's my look though. You know what I'm saying? And for the shirt, first time going out there, I had on the Under Armours. I won't be wearing those again. the rollover Under Armours is that's not gonna work for me no more. I'm need to get some cold Adidas, some Yeezys, some just to kind of go with the fit.
I love it. What about you, Noah?
For me, I mean, I'm gonna go. I always start from my shoes up, and so like the shoes for me is gonna define the rest of the outfit. But like I'm also, unlike these guys, I'm like very shoes joggers. I'm a big fan of joggers on the golf course. It just because it makes the shoe pop out more, right? I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to the team, these guys have definitely continued to level up my taste. So now, like watching them, I learned different things, right? Like I was never like a chain guy. Now I'm like, I need some type of chain when I'm out there, right? because we're out there, we're filming, we're shooting and stuff like that, and you just be like, man, I got to step it up. Like I need to do this, I need to do that, right? And so for me, it's like shoes, socks, joggers, and then I'm still trying to, internally I'm battling that polo thing. Like I like to wear polos. I'm really comfortable wearing polos. But then Mel's over here yelling at me like, bro, take that polo off, put a t-shirt on, like, And so I'm trying to figure that out. And then the hat, right? For us, that's been a big thing on the team has been the hats. And we actually did this cool run earlier this year where everyone got to design their own hat. So for me, I start from the bottom up straight. Like just what shoes am I wearing will determine everything else.
I love it. Hey man, listen, y'all are great, man. Appreciate what y'all are doing for the youth out there. Appreciate how y'all are growing this game and making it more accessible for folks like me, man. I love that. But anyway, y'all, that's a wrap for Special Delivery. I'm your boy Sykes, and this is Vibez Golf, man. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.